Hey everyone, welcome back to the second episode of Collector Spotlight. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for so much love on the first episode with Scott. Today my guest is Britany. Say hi, Britany.
Hey everyone.
I love your posters in the background too, by the way.
Thank you. I actually just got this one, so I actually ordered it and shipped it to my friend Juliet because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to pay for the shipping.
Yeah.
But the other one I had from before, so my friend actually used to work at a theater, so that one I got myself. But basically, if they had damage on them, like even if it was like
Mm-hmm.
slightest tear, they were just like, yeah, and they basically had a sign up sheet. So
Mm-hmm.
she actually got me all the Wonder Woman first movie posters. And then a couple other ones here and there, but these are the Zack Snyder Justice League one is the last one that I
Oh,
got.
that's so cool. Yeah, I used to work at a retail store, so like we would get the like the cardboard cutouts and like for DVDs and stuff like that, and I would always like have to put like a sticky note on the back of it and be like, "This is Megan's. Do not," because they would just throw them out. So
Right.
if you ever go to a grocery store, a Best Buy type store, and they have a cardboard cutout you want, ask them if you can have it because they're just gonna literally throw it in the trash. I got the Wonder Woman W. It's actually down there, and then I did have the theatrical cut of Justice League's cardboard cutout, and I only kept the Superman and Wonder Woman out of it because the other ones just fell apart.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was a tangent. Brittany, go ahead and introduce yourself for those that don't know.
So I am Britany Murphy. I collect stuff, obviously. I write at different websites at Cinema Debate with Meg. I've
Yes.
also written for POC Culture, Geeks of Color, The Real Roundup, which is a Toronto-based film review TV film website. So yeah, that's pretty much me in a very short nutshell. And I collect too many things, probably.
Yeah, we've known each other for quite a while. Like comic book debate is what it was called. Now it's called cinema debate. We both write there, and that's kind of when we started following each other. And I noticed that you get like the coolest steel books and the coolest statues, and the like. I'm looking at your Mjolnir back there, and I'm just like, I know that it's signed too. So I'm just like, I need to see it.
Recently started repainting it because now I'm like, well, it's been 2 years. Nothing will happen to the actual signature from Natalie
Yeah.
Portman. So I've actually started like repainting it so it looks more
Oh
legit.
my
Obviously,
gosh.
I'm going to stay away from the
Hmm.
signature part, but yeah.
That's great. Let me pull up the first question here to get this rolling. Um, so you say that you have like a really big collection of things that you love, but when did you start collecting? Like, what sparked your collecting journey?
Actually, so the first thing was actually my dad. So he actually used to own like a little comic book store.
Oh, that's so
Um,
cool.
yeah, so just like from him, like obviously, like back in the day, Saturday morning cartoons, like him and
Hmm.
I would watch like the '90s X-Men together, um, and the animated Justice League show. So it was actually him that kind of sparked my initial, now
Yeah.
it's probably gotten out of control. Someone to blame it on.
Exactly. That's what I also blame my parents as well. So it's like, they sparked it. It's not my fault I continued with it. It's your fault.
Exactly. You guys planted the seed, let's say. So yeah, so that like comic type things and superheroes was definitely my dad. In
Mhm.
terms of Steelbook, I blame one of my best friends, Nashonda, because she would always like talk about, oh, collecting Steelbooks and whatever. And at the time, I wasn't really super familiar with them.
Mhm.
But then she started my collection for me, so I just had to continue it. So it
Awesome.
actually started with Wonder Woman. It's in like the plastic case now,
I
but
get those too.
so I blame her for this and also kind of Funkos because
Yes.
her and my dad was actually the first one who's like, when they first came out, he's like, oh, they might be worth something. So I started with like kind of the Disney ones. Like I had the OG, like Beauty and the Beast ones, because that's
Mhm.
my favorite Disney movie. So yeah, so basically for Steelbooks, it's Nashonda's fault. And then my dad is at fault for everything else. So.
It's never our fault. As collectors, it's never our fault.
Exactly.
That's what I tell my parents too, and they're always like, "Well, I don't know what to get you for your birthday, and I don't know blah 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 blah." Literally anything, just if it's something cool, I will collect it. Like,
Exactly.
I started collecting pops back in like 2016, and I'm just like looking around my room right now, and it's like crazy how like quickly you get that like collecting bug, you know? It's like I recently unfortunately got someone into collecting Funkos, and they're just like, I hate you because I can't stop. Like, you're constantly like looking up new ones and like pre-ordering them. And also like I just started collecting VHS tapes like last summer. It's just like when you
Yeah.
have that bug, like it's so cool to like hold something you love, like and to like have that physical representation of like, oh, this is my favorite character. I have to don't own everything about it.
Exactly. And I think that's part of where my problem has like kind of spiraled a bit
Yeah.
because you too, you love Wonder Woman. Absolutely.
Yes.
I like Wonder Woman and X-Men are like my thing. So the
Yeah.
amount of like X-Men Funkos and Wonder Woman Funkos or X-Men things like shirts, whatever, like it's fine. It's fine. That's what I keep
Just like your dad said, eventually someday they will be worth money. Fingers crossed.
saying. Exactly. I actually wanted to go through his collection just to kind of bring some stuff from his to show.
Oh.
But there was like so many things, and I was just like, I don't even know where to start or what to choose. And he made some joke. He's like, oh, he's like, it's for like a YouTube thing. And I'm like, yes, Dad. And he's like, I thought you were just trying to get to your inheritance stuff early. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to write a list of what I want, so keep an inventory of it.
Exactly.
Do you remember what your first piece was that you got from? I mean, you said that your steel books and your Funkos, but what was the very first piece you ever remember collecting, like in your whole collection?
So the first thing I ever remember, clearly, again, I was too young, so I didn't like pay for it myself, but
Right.
I picked it out myself. So I mean that counts for something.
Exactly.
I have them in a set, but I have this one separate. So it's X-Men Jim Lee cover.
Oh,
I guess
beautiful.
it's like early 90s ish. So
Mhm.
I definitely probably didn't even really know how to read, but I was like, X-Men. So
Looks
I was
cool.
that. And then this is like the set of like 1 to 6, but with the Storm and Beast.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah. So yeah. So last time Jim Lee was in Toronto for Fan Expo, I actually got him to sign this
Oh
one.
my goodness.
But yeah, so those are the first things that I consciously were like, I must have these.
Do you remember like the story behind getting those? Or were you too young?
I think for me it was just like automatically I just thought of the animated series,
Yeah.
especially because obviously these ones like the costumes and everything
Mhm.
were the same. So I think it was just more so like, oh look, it's the same as the, TV show.
Yeah.
Obviously I wasn't looking for the story per se. Obviously I've read it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was just like being so obsessed with the animated show. I was like, I need these too.
Yes. Yeah, just goes back to like you have a favorite character and you need to own everything that they have. And that's what like it's good, but it sucks like that this stuff is becoming so much more popular, and especially like with the MCU doing X-Men sometime soon. I just can't imagine the more and more merchandise that we're gonna get. It's just gonna be insane. And like with Wonder Woman's 80th year this year, they have like 3 different waves of Funko Pops. It's like it's
Yeah,
like my bank account is just hurting.
yeah. Some of them you can't really see them, but there are two of them on the shelves behind
Yep.
me. One is the Contest of Champions one,
Mhm.
and the other one is the death metal chase glow in the
Yes.
dark one.
Oh, you got the Chase version? I'm so
Yeah.
jealous. I have the
By
regular one.
from Amazon.
Dang. See, and that's what I love about like pre-ordering that stuff is like, you pre-order it, it's like a little gift to yourself, but then when you get it and it's the Chase, you're like, okay, thank you, Amazon, thank
Right.
you.
Like other times I'm like, damn you,
I
Amazon.
know
It's
that
fine.
happened to me when I ordered the Captain Marvel
Nice.
Well, I didn't even order the chase. I just ordered the regular one.
Yeah.
And I opened it, and I didn't even know it had a chase variation. And I opened it, and I was like, no way. I got the chase version of her. It
Yes.
was cool because that version, the chase version of the Captain Marvel pop, is dope.
Yeah, I like it better with the helmet and
I
everything.
always love her more when she has her helmet on, to be honest. So you mentioned your dad kind of inspired your collection. Was there anybody else maybe like in the entertainment world, like a YouTuber or anyone like that? Like your friend said, you said your friend sparked your steelbook collection, but is there anyone else that kind of inspires your collection?
So far, just it's mostly been my dad, and then my
Yeah.
mom just kind of panders to the collecting. Like, 'cause she knows I like Wonder Woman and X-Men, so, like, when it's Christmas and things, she'll get me stuff. And I guess, obviously, like, when you're younger, you want toys and things.
Yes.
Now, like, when you're older, not as much, but now I think it makes her happy in a way because she's like, "Okay, like, it's not really a toy, it's like an action figure or whatever,
Yes.
but it's kind of the same thing." So she actually got me, you probably can slightly see it in the back,
Hmm.
the golden eagle arm.
Um, I wanted to ask you about this so badly because I remember when you posted it. That's the Queen Studios one, right? It is your pictures of it were so beautiful that I was like, I wanted to order it so badly, but it was sold out.
Yes.
So,
Actually, wait, not Queen Studios, Iron Studios,
I
my
yeah, yeah, yeah. I wanted it so bad just from your pictures alone because it just looks so just seeing it from a distance, it's just like so gold and just beautiful.
yes, I could roll back if you want a closer look, I can go
I
get
think the people
it.
need it.
So yes, this is it.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I really love the lasso on it. Like, it looked obviously awesome in the pictures, but I wasn't sure what it was gonna look
Mhm.
like in person. Um, and I don't have the other head on it, but it does come with another head, which doesn't have the helmet, but I'm like,
Mhm.
"If you're gonna put it up, it needs to be
It
the
has to
whole
have the
thing."
helmet, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's really nice. I love the pose a lot.
Look at
Just
those
'cause it's
wings.
so good.
Oh my god, that is beautiful. That I actually since I missed out on that one, I pre-ordered the one for Zack Snyder's Justice League where she has like the cross bracers.
Yes, my friend.
Doesn't come out until like September, but
Yeah, my friend Rashonda actually sent me a picture of that one. I'm like, "Why would you do this?" That
what are
and
friends for though?
and then she also sent me the black suit Superman. I'm like, "Please."
Yeah. I um I was like, okay, either or. I don't have any Wonder Woman statues yet. I'm looking around. Hold on. Yeah, I don't have any Wonder Woman statues because they're always like I feel like they don't do them very often, so when they do them, like and do them well, they're just gone.
Yeah,
Um I pre-ordered I don't know if you have any Hot Toys, but
don't.
I pre-ordered the Batman and Superman the Nightmare ones for Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I was like, there comes like a 2-pack, so it's like a good deal, right? It
Yeah,
was like $500, and like, I just started making the payments on it, and but yeah, it's just like you graduate from okay, you get comics, you get pops, and then you're like, okay, well, what's the step above that? Statues and like the Queen Studio, the Iron Studio ones aren't really that expensive. They're like around like 125 ish, but they're really great quality.
exactly.
But it's just funny how like your interests just grow. Like the more you collect, it's like, okay, well, I was into this at this point, but now I'm all the way over here at this point.
Yeah, and that's my third. Well, this was my second Wonder Woman statue. I now have three. The first one I actually got it was on Amazon, and it was just basically a set. Like, if you bought the movie, it came
Mhm.
with the figure. So it's from the first movie. I don't have that one up just because I'm running out of space.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Um, but that one's cool too. The dub, like, she has the sword and she's in like an action pose, and this base is like the W logo, which is cool. And then the other one, I think you've seen it, is the
Mhm.
Jenny Frison. Um,
Yes. Yeah, we have that at my job. I look at it every day. It's
yep.
so beautiful. So beautiful. Um, If you had to describe your collection in one word, what would it be?
I feel like the word would be manic. Just because there's so many things and there's so many different things.
Mhm.
I feel like it would be different if, say, I was just strictly only had comics and nothing else, but there's like steelbooks, Funkos, comics, statues. I also have a lot of like books,
Mhm.
like coffee table books. I have a BVS one. I have the Wonder Woman, Art of Wonder Woman, the first movie, the art of making Aquaman.
Mhm.
I have too many things. I have the Captain Marvel one. Like, that's why I feel like manic would be the word, but like manic in a good way. It's just there's a lot of it. I mean, I guess the other
Yeah.
word would be chaotic, but you know.
Yeah, no, I like that because it's like it's like organized chaos because it's like for me, I just have stuff everywhere, but I know exactly where it is and I know exactly like um the placement it needs to be in, and it's just like it might be manic for like you, but manic for somebody else is totally different. So I really I like that explanation. I'm gonna use that for mine because I think manic works a lot better than organized chaos for sure. Because at the end of the day, like I look around and I'm like, is it organized though? Maybe. um what are some of the staple pieces in your collection? Like, if you were to sell your collection today, what would be some pieces that you absolutely would have to keep?
So the golden eagle armor cannot go anywhere. One obviously was a gift from my mom,
Yeah.
so um, I would probably keep a lot of my comics,
Mhm.
um, especially the X-Men ones. I do have a fair few like older like Wonder Woman ones too. I
Mhm.
actually recently just got the set for the Nubia first
Oh
appearances.
my
They
gosh.
haven't come yet. I was hoping that maybe I'd get them by the
That's a
time
gift.
we filmed, but they exist. So I feel like those and some of the key X-Men issues that I have, like I have like first appearance of Bishop and things like that. Those ones I would keep.
Mhm.
Um, I'd probably keep some of the steel books too. Who am I kidding? I
Yeah.
feel like there's more things that I would keep than get rid
Yeah.
of.
Like I always say, like, even if I'm homeless, I'm still like, if I had to live in my car, I would at least have a few Funkos in there, probably. I
Exactly.
don't think I could really ever, because there's so many people that like they'll do like ticket scalping but for like pops, like they'll hunt those pre-order links and buy as many as they can, and it's like that sucks for people that just like collecting because it's like then I have to like work extra hard to get my pieces, so it's like I have them. So
Right.
yeah, like you said, I don't think I would probably keep way more than I would like to admit.
Exactly. We'll just go, yes, I am doing a purge, a very small.
Yeah, I will get rid of like because I have about I think 400 and some pops, right? So it's insane. It's absolutely insane. I know. No, it's manic. It's manic.
Exactly.
So I could probably get rid of maybe like 10% and I would be like, that's too much anyways, but there you go. Um, because it's like there's so many cool stories behind the stuff that you get, right?
Mhm.
Um, so like you could spend months and months trying to hunt something down and it's like you finally get it. So it's like, ah.
Exactly.
Um what are some pieces in your collection that have like the best stories?
Um, interesting. Interesting. I mean, again, I feel like this one, it's not like a great story, but
It's
it's
okay.
great for me.
Yeah.
So I really love Lord of the Rings. And obviously here in Canada, we don't have Barnes and Noble. We have
Mhm.
Indigo, and it's only been recent that they get the Indigo. Indigo will get the Barnes and Noble's exclusives.
Mhm.
Before that would never happen. And I had ordered a few things from Barnes and Noble like previously, but they would
Mhm.
usually not come in the best condition. So basically, I just get my money back. I'm like, okay, whatever, free
Yeah.
Funko. But a couple of years ago, they had for their 2017 summer convention exclusive was the Lord of the Rings 2-pack with Aragorn and Arwen. And I was like, I must have it. And I debated. I like woke up. I think it went on sale. It was like 3 a.m. like my time or our time here on Eastern too.
Yeah.
So it was like 3 a.m. And I stayed up. Well, I mean, now I stay up to like 5 sometimes. But back this time, I didn't stay up until
Mhm.
thing past 1 basically. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna order it. And I was just hoping that it would arrive to me in like good condition
Mhm.
and for like, save for a few things that were not Barnes and Noble and shipping fault, it was just kind of like weird paint issues with the box and things
Yeah.
like that. It actually came in good condition. I still have it, and it is currently the Funko that costs the most or is worth the most in my collection now.
Oh my
So yeah,
gosh.
they even have the little like scratch on Arwen.
Yeah. Wow. I've never seen that one before, to be honest.
So this is my favorite one, and I feel like the story, obviously, it's not the best story, but it was good for me because it actually came. The Funko gods were like, "You will
They were
get
on your
this in
side.
good condition." Yeah. So yeah, that is probably, and it's
Those
probably
are
the
cute.
ones I've had the longest too. Um, but yeah, so that's probably one of my personal most exciting stories. And I guess the other one would probably be the Thor hammer. um, so I was doing photography for the Toronto International Film Festival, and it was for the movie that Natalie Portman was starring in, called Lucy in the Sky. So I was doing the red carpet. So my friend was also attending. Um,
Mhm.
but she was just seeing the movie. She was to review it, so she wasn't like in like the press pit or anything like that. So I'm like, I'm gonna give you this hammer. You will stand for me, please, in the fan zone and try to get it signed. Because I once you're signed in and once you're on like the
Mhm.
carpet, like you can't go anywhere.
Mhm.
Um, so she's like, okay, yeah, sure. Like just like super cash about it. I'm just thinking like the likelihood that she's gonna get it is like 0.1%. So once everything was done, like the red carpet part was over and we were allowed to actually like leave the red carpet section, she texted me and there was like an A&W, which is like a burger joint,
Mhm.
just down from where the actual Princess of Wales Theater is downtown. And she's like, okay, meet me there. She's like, I'm gonna get food and then we can go like into the actual film. So I'm like,
Mhm.
sure. So I walk in, obviously expecting nothing because she didn't say like, hey, I got it signed. So I walk in and she like opens her bag and she just hands it to me and I'm like, oh, thanks for trying. And she's like, look at the other side, signature on there. And
Oh
then
my
she proceeds to
gosh.
tell me, she's like, actually, you should be thanking this random girl who was also in the like area with.
Mhm.
So apparently, like, so Natalie Portman will sign autographs and stuff, but she's not really like, I guess, a selfie person.
Mhm.
Girl like didn't bring anything to get signed. She just wanted to try and get a picture. So she was like to my friend, she's like, if I can't get the picture, then I'll help you get your autograph. So there were all these like guys who we see them all the time at TIFF because basically they'll get the autographs and then sell them and
Yes, yeah.
whatever. So she's like they kept like pushing further and her and this like other girl were just right at the front, but she's like we kept getting kind of pushed out of the way. So she's like the girl just took the hammer from me, put it in between the two guys' heads, basically turned it so it was like the flat side
Yeah.
up. And obviously Natalie Portman saw it and then she like signed it first before the like other people.
That is
So
so
that's
cool.
how the autograph happened. I did not witness it. I didn't think it would even happen, but I was glad that it did. So,
Oh my gosh. And this after she was announced to be like the mighty Thor?
yes. So
Oh
it was, I
my
think, that
gosh.
same year,
Yeah.
but TIFF was in like the end, like middle to end of September. And then
Yeah.
obviously Comic Con was like July.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like the first, I guess, the year that she was announced. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh. That is
yes,
such a cool story, like, how many people, like, helped out to make that happen, like, a total random stranger.
exactly.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That that is when you, because I know like you'll post like new pictures of your like steelbooks on that shelf, and every time I'm like, I see part of it. I see
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah, because it
um,
used to be on my headboard because there's like a shelf
yeah,
there. But now since I've put up the steelbook display shelf, I was like, well, you can go there. You look pretty there.
it does. It looks so cool. Like I keep like looking at it. So you've talked about some of the older pieces in your collection. But what are some of the newest pieces that you've gotten?
So the last few new things were 3 Funkos. I'm pretty sure I posted a picture of them, so you've probably seen them. Well, I know
Probably.
2 of them you have definitely probably seen. So the first one is Storm from the X-Men 20th. I had
I
been looking for this one for
love
so
that.
long.
I love that pop so much with the lightning. Oh my
Yes,
gosh. And it
exactly.
looks, pops, they have like no facial features really. But
Yeah,
as soon as I saw that, I was like, that's Halle Berry.
exactly. So I was like, I have to have it. And then the other 2 I will show as a set because why wouldn't you?
Hmm.
Tina and Gilgamesh.
You got the chase.
Yep, again, Amazon.
Yes.
So yes, so I have the 2 of them now, and I don't
Look
usually
at her.
unbox my pops, but I feel like I must unbox them to put them standing somewhere
Yeah,
together.
because I just got the, well, let me put them together. They belong together, so
Exactly.
I got the Cersei and Icarus ones from Walmart
Yeah,
because I live in Michigan and we haven't gotten any of the other Eternals pops yet.
yeah,
So I saw these at Walmart and I didn't even know they made like, I thought they just made like a regular line of them,
yeah,
and I had no idea that they made the Walmart exclusive ones. So I grabbed them. But yeah, with those ones, I definitely feel like the Eternals, they have to be out of the box
exactly. I'm like, I
because you
feel
have to
like
like line them all up.
they're exactly. Yeah. So that was in terms of Funkos, that was the last thing. In terms of steelbooks, you will see that there is a middle section at the bottom that is just empty.
Yes.
So I took it down already because I was like, it will take me too long to like jump pop over the bed to get
Yeah.
to it. So it is actually the Cine Museum full slip lenticular Zack Snyder Justice League. But I decided that I was going to make my own little adjustment. So it came with the regular standard steelbook, the one with the hands
Mm.
and everyone holding their weapon.
Yeah.
But I had already ordered another one, which was one of the like Europe variants, which is this one.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, so I put that one in here, but it came with the regular one, but it's really nice. It matches the poster. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, but it's lenticular.
I love that. There was only a few of the steelbooks that I really liked.
Yeah,
That design is probably my favorite, and then that other one that you showed too. Those two,
yeah.
whew, they're
And the
beautiful.
back is really nice too.
Oh my gosh.
Has like spot gloss and debossing. We have all the characters going
That
on.
is beautiful.
And then with a lot of the like full slip kind of ones, it always comes with like extra stuff. So it came with
Hmm.
like a little like booklet with exclusive like
Oh my
in the
gosh.
back. And then there was just like different postcards and things. And also, so there was character cards, which were, so there's postcards and they're all like the, hard to see,
Hmm.
it's all the different individual posters. And then there was just like a little kind of photo book.
Oh wow.
And then inside is just like different high res stills, like from the actual movie and
That
stuff.
is awesome.
So yeah, that those are the last things that I have purchased or have showed up in my home
Yeah.
after ordering them. Um, but yes,
There was so many great steelbooks and like Blu-rays and 4Ks that came out with that. I ended up getting, I think I got, well, this was before we even knew that the US was going to get a physical release because
yeah.
for so long we had no idea. Like I would ask Zach like, "Yo, dude, when is this coming out? I have to know." And he's like,
Who
"I don't
knows?
know." Yeah. I'm like, "Yeah, okay, dude." Um So like I remember someone had posted like the Amazon link, but for like I think it was the UK for Zack Snyder's Justice League Blu-ray. So I ordered one because I was like, I have to have a physical copy.
Right.
No, it wasn't the Blu-ray, it was the 4K. So I ordered that and then it got here. And then the week that I got it, it was announced that the US was like getting it on like a certain day. So there were so many that were announced like right away. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to get because obviously I can't afford to buy every single one. I wish I
Right.
could. So I ended up getting it was like the four film, I'm not the four, the three film like set, and it came in like this really nice slip case, and it came with all of those like cards of like the anti-life equation and all that.
Have that one too.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I did an unboxing of it and I was like trying not to cry the whole time. So I'm just like, it's so cool. I actually have it and it's beautiful.
Right? It was
So
so
good.
nice. Like I like the look of it. I just liked it. So I was like, I mean, I have like steelbooks of these movies already, but
Yeah.
that's like part of the problem. It's gotten to a point where, unless like I've tried to, okay, you just need one copy of things. But then sometimes people just gift you multiple copies. Like my friend Ashonda, who gave me the Wonder Woman steelbook
Mm-hmm.
this past Christmas, she got me, or was it Christmas or my birthday? I can't remember, but
Yeah.
last year she gifted me with another Wonder Woman Titans of Cult one.
Mm-hmm.
So the steelbook looks like the shield, and it comes with a
Oh my
little pin that
gosh.
looks like the shield, and it's like the nice like slip cover thing. And so yeah, so it's gotten to that point. But when Ray Fisher was here for Fan Expo, I actually had gotten the 3 movie set.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually got him to sign it. So that
Oh, that's amazing. That's really cool.
yeah.
Um, I mean, we've talked about your oldest, your newest. What is the most that you've ever spent on an item that you feel comfortable with saying?
I mean, I would say that it's between 2 or 3 things that are
Yeah.
kind of roughly around the same. So I actually took them off. Well, all 3 of them I took off the wall so I would be able to show you.
Oh, thank you.
So the first two are actually, I feel like together they're probably one of the more expensive things that I have. But it was actually a set of commissions that I got done.
Mhm.
So a Canadian artist, Ken Lashley, he does work for Marvel, DC, everywhere. So the first one I ever got was I liked the look of Asgardian Storm.
Mhm.
I actually got a commission of Asgardian
Oh
Storm,
my gosh.
which is
I
lovely.
remember you posting this, I think.
Yeah, so that was a couple of years ago, and I got the second one this past Fan Expo in the summertime. Well, I guess it was like October or November this time around, of Warrior Wonder Woman.
Oh my
So
god.
basically, when they're hanging on the wall, they face each other. Um,
That's dope.
so that's probably one of the, if you combine the price for both of them together, is probably
Mhm.
the most expensive because I think it was 150 or something for
Mhm.
one of them, and I think the other one was slightly cheaper.
Mhm.
But I'm like, it's so
They're so
good.
cool. Those are really cool.
And I liked that he did her with the spear because then after, basically in between the gap is the Jenny First and Wonder Woman, and she's also holding the spear, so they kind of like go together. And this is the more recent, most expensive thing that I have. The God Killer sword special
Oh.
edition. It is actually pretty pointy, which I did not expect. So basically, don't try to catch me outside with that I'm going anywhere. And it's
That is
cool
so
because the like to hang it on the wall, it looks like a little mini version of the shield, and then it has like the logo on the back, which is
that is so dope.
so these are the most expensive things I currently have. Though this one wasn't bad. I think it was like 250, which
Mhm.
isn't terrible.
Yeah.
It's actual metal
Like
and
that's a real sword.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, but now this has kind of ignited a new bug. I'm like, so I have a Thor hammer. I have this. I've already inquired about the Sword of Athena.
Mm.
And they also have a lot of the Lord of the Rings stuff too. I was very tempted to get the Arwen sword, but they had just sold
Yes.
their last one. And I'm like, well, you'll get it back in stock sometime. And I
Just let me know. Put me on that email list.
exactly. But yeah, they had a lot of cool ones when I went to pick this up. They had all of the different Aragorn swords. They had Theoden's sword of Rohan with the two
Hmm.
horses on the side, so that one was pretty cool. And they all come with like either like a wooden stand to like display them, or it has like a cool like kind of one like this where you hang it.
Yeah.
So the one for King Theoden actually had like the symbol of Rohan with the white horse on the back. So yeah, and it's literally like 15 minutes away from me, this place. I'm like,
That's dangerous.
exactly. So yeah, these are the two most, though this and the two photos are probably the most expensive. I mean, there's probably some comics I have that are probably
Hmm.
worth a lot. I just don't have any of them like graded, but I do
Yeah.
have like some 12-cent X-Men ones.
Oh, wow.
Not all of them are in like great condition, but I can show you the ones that I do have. So this one, I think I literally just got it randomly in like one of those kind of comic grab bag things. I was
Mm.
surprised that it was in here. It's not in the best shape, but I mean, it's the X-Men meet Frankenstein, so
That's
it's
really cool.
interesting. Um, so yeah, so that one, and then I have a 20-cent one, which I'm sure probably it's an X-Men number 82. Um, so that
Oh
one's
my
pretty
goodness.
old too. But yeah, so those comic wise are probably the most expensive, depending on what
Mhm.
the rating is. I also have the Wolverine number one, the Frank Miller one, and it's signed by Stanley and Chris Claremont. I
Oh
missed
my
the
gosh.
Frank Miller like signature by like 2 minutes because they had closed the like queue, and I was like,
No.
someday, someday.
Oh my goodness. I always love seeing like for me it doesn't really matter how much I spend on a piece like that doesn't really matter with like the sentimental value, but also knowing that you own something expensive that's like rare, like you owning like a Wonder Woman sword has to feel so freaking cool. Like you have a sword.
Right? I was just like, I'm just like holding it, and like I was showing it to my mom, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's so beautiful." And she's like, "Oh, so are you gonna start setting up like sword fights or something?" I don't think that's allowed,
What if I
but
did?
I'm like,
Now I have the option.
exactly. I'm just gonna like put it out there. If anyone wants to challenge me to a duel, I guess I'm ready.
You have a hammer and a sword, so you've got it covered. You've got it
Exactly.
covered.
Exactly.
In the age of COVID, I mean, we're still in a pandemic. What are some challenges that you didn't expect with like collecting during the pandemic?
I think one that I feel like it's not that I didn't expect it, is just
Yeah.
if kind of waiting for something like, so the shipping delays obviously not by anyone's like fault. It's just
Yeah.
everything is so I feel it's just one of those things where especially if you're like super anxious for something or you like really want to like, put it up or whatever.
Mhm.
So that has been kind of a challenge. And then I guess to everything obviously like here we've had like a lot of lockdowns or like
Mhm.
partial lockdowns where things are open close. So trying to get things like comics, like I don't have a pull list because I like to just kind of go through like
Yeah.
myself and pick which covers and all that stuff. So the comic store that I usually go to, it's called Gotham Central. um, Obviously so I had to like create a pull list and have to be like super specific about okay,
Mhm.
this cover by this person and whatever, instead of just kind of picking through it myself. And I guess too, because they were experiencing shipping delays, like if you didn't get your like list to them on time, there was like a lot of stuff that you wouldn't get or
Mhm.
would have to kind of try and get it at a later time. So just kind of small things like that, I guess. And obviously it's hard for like the people that own the stores and everything because you have like less human interaction.
Yeah.
And two, obviously you don't want your customers or anyone to be disappointed, and it's not like it's their fault.
Mhm.
So I feel like that. Plus, during some of the lockdowns, it was cold, and obviously we couldn't go actually in the store. So it was like a
Yeah.
lineup outside the store in like minus whatever it was, 15
Mhm.
or something, waiting to get your books. I'm like, it's cold, but it's worth it.
It is.
So yeah. So I guess those were probably the main things that I noticed.
Mhm. Awesome. Well, to finish out this, awesome interview we're doing, I'm so grateful that you stopped by. What is some advice you'd give to someone that is just starting collecting?
I think the main thing would just be pick something that you love, and whether that is a character or a franchise or whatever it may be, like you might, love Lord of the Rings. I mean, there's obviously a bunch of places that you can start, whether it be, the Funkos, whether you just want to get the sets of the movies.
Mhm.
If anyone wants to know what the Steelbook set looks like, it's very nice. Not that I
Ooh.
should be, here, buy this.
Buy it.
But I think really it's just one of those things where just pick something that you love. And I mean, if I was trying to not be manic, I would say maybe pick a singular thing. Like, you want to stick to like collecting different like versions of the DVDs or Blu-rays or whatever, because obviously the UK has a different cover than here, for example. Then maybe stick to one thing. But I mean, obviously, I would be a hypocrite saying that because I
Same.
don't even stick to one thing. But I feel like that's kind of the easiest way to kind of get started. And then obviously, if you want to branch out afterwards, definitely do so. But yeah, I think mainly just pick something you love. Like you love Wolverine, start there. Like get all the movies or get the Funkos if you can get your hands on them.
Yeah.
Get a few comics, and obviously it's if you're trying to look for older things, it could be pricey or it's hard to find. Even just starting with things like getting the like collected like graphic novels or something, like that's a good way to like
Mhm.
start your collection. As you can see, I have a fair few like comic things behind me. Um, so yeah, I think that's the advice I'd give. Just pick something that you love, because really the likelihood of you getting sick of it ever is very slim.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem.
Um, if you guys are watching and you want to be involved in Collector Spotlight, head on over to Vero, use the hashtag, and stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to feature some awesome stuff that has been shared on Vero. I'm always blown away by like the quality of pictures that people post, and it's just like it just really sparks more creativity and more inspiration for a collection. So head on over there. Make sure to give me a follow. My @ is WonderMeg. Britany, where can everyone find you?
So I'm on Twitter and Instagram, same same username for both. So it's Britany, BRITANY_Murphs, MURPHS, and you can find me there. I tweet funny things sometimes. So yeah.